Yes,
Today we are joined again by the sergeant from Germany, Mr. Nick Hein. How are you doing?
I'm great. I just went shopping. I'm in close to Amsterdam right now. I bought the best cheese. I bought the best chocolate. I bought the Reuter like crazy. I'm ready for after weigh-ins, so my mood is on fleek.
It's very delicious stuff you get here. The cheese, the Reuter Hagelslag. It's great. It's great.
Yes, and
Recent,
stroopwafels.
they are very good too. They are very
Yes,
good
that.
too.
But not
Tip.
before the weigh-ins, right? I shouldn't eat them before.
No, no, no. That's no good. Wait till
Yes.
you have to fight, and then you can enjoy the Dutch delicacies.
Yes.
Very recently, we spoke about your fight against Davi Ramos on May 12th.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the fight didn't go your way. What went wrong in your opinion?
Um, I I lost by submission. That is what went wrong. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure if I would have not gotten submitted, I might have won this fight. Um, I was in a very good mood. I was in a good shape. The weight cut was perfect. And to be honest, there's nothing I can really point that on. Like it just happened. So yeah, and it is, the most used sentence in MMA. The two most used sentences are "it is what it is" and "100%." And in this case, it is what it is.
that's correct. It is what it is. Was his BJJ even better than you expected?
I think he showcased his best BJJ in an MMA. Man, this language is so difficult. In an MMA fight. Before that, he wasn't that impressive. I think in the ones I saw. So I think he kind of stepped it up a notch. And yeah, I was a little unlucky to be on the other end of that sausage, as we say in Germany. There's always two ends, the good one and the bad one. I was on the bad one this time. But until then, I felt the fight was going pretty good. I knocked him down in the first, and I'm pretty sure if I would have catched him like this, like maybe in a second or even in a third, he wouldn't have gotten up.
Yeah. Uh, Last time we talked a little bit about UFC in Hamburg, Germany. You
Yeah.
told me back then it was too soon to tell if you could fight. Of course, it depended on the outcome of the Hamas fight.
Yes.
And now, only 9 weeks after the loss, we seen a very quick turnaround. You will be fighting against Damir Hadzovic on
Yes.
July 22nd,
Yes.
UFC Fight Night 134. How did the fight come about? Did you immediately call Sean Shelby and said, I want to fight again?
So this is what happened. I went back to the locker room. I sat down. I opened my Stroop waffles that I had from Trader Joe's, and I was eating them and eating some chocolate. And then I looked over to my coach, Anthony Hardonk, and he looked at me, and then he said, "You know what? Give me some of them waffles." And then I gave him some, and then he said, "We should get a fight real quick again." And I was like, still like chewing, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then a day later, on the airport, still in Brazil, I wrote an email to Sean Shelby saying, "Look, I'm healthy, I have no injuries, and I'm ready to go again. So whenever you need me." And he responded right away. And when I landed in New York, I was doing a holiday for a week. He already had sent me the offer like for Hamburg, and I agreed. So before, I always like allow myself a week of eating
Yeah, yeah.
and enjoying myself. So before I even like could dive into that, I already knew I would fight again in Hamburg. And yeah, so basically I had a week of holiday and went right back into training.
All right. I looked at your social media a couple of weeks ago, and I really could tell you wanted that fight on the Hamburg card. So
Yes.
I'm happy for you. You got the fight. You got the fight for your hometown crowd in Germany.
Yeah.
Did your body have the time to fully recuperate?
Um, hey, I swear, really, my body really reacts amazingly to food. When I can eat, I sleep better, I recover faster, I fight stronger. So 3 weeks, I even in 2 camps. So I had 1 week in New York and 2 more weeks in training camp where I allowed myself just to eat, and I was so strong, uh, and it felt so good, and my recovery, I think I really found my kind of rhythm. So I feel maybe for the next fight I would like to take off a little bit more time,
Of
but
course, yeah.
I feel like with that rhythm, like going right back into training, even though I eat, I can, my body really takes that pretty well. So I had no injuries, I had no overtraining so far, and yeah, so I'm pretty confident.
All right. And not only the healing of the body, but did you get enough time to prepare for the next fight?
I was still in shape. So a lot of things that are now on the game plan for this fight were already on the game plan for the last fight. So I had basically the comfort of having two training camps, and I
Hmm.
could use a lot of things from the last camp. So I still had my cardio, I still had my explosiveness, I still had my moving patterns. That was actually really something I could enjoy. Besides that, I really liked the matchup with Hadzovic. I really liked his kind of style compared to mine. I didn't really feel I need to specifically um, prepare like I had to for my last opponent.
All right. Like you said, you're fighting the Bosnian bomber,
Yes,
Damir Hadzovic. What do you know about the opponent?
I know he has heavy hands. I know about people that told me that he's a pretty confident striker. And there's one more thing that you need to know. I'm a person that divides the fan base in Germany. So there's people that love me, and there's people that hate me. There's
Are
nothing
there
in between.
people that hate you in Germany? That can be right.
It's because they are virgins. But basically, you need to know that it's only love or really hate. There's
All
no
right.
in between. And a lot of people of the hate side, they already predict he's gonna knock me out. They say he's gonna end my career in the UFC. He's gonna like like punch my head off. And it's it's kind of like a warning sign. So he might really like hit heavy. And I mean, with Marcin Held, he knocked him out with a knee, and did an amazing turnaround of the fight. He got the performance of the night. So he's definitely a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Um, so that is what I know. On the other hand, I know how we trained, and I can look back on how I performed in training. So let me just tell you, I'm really really confident.
That's very good to hear that you're confident heading into the fight. That's, of course, an important part of the fight game. Although you have a lot of fights left on your contract, do you feel it's a must-win fight?
Uh, Look, I ne- I never went into a fight feeling like, yeah, let's see how this one goes. You
Yeah.
know, so I always felt I won. I kind of have to win. Look, with the UFC, it's easy. Two or three great fights, and suddenly you are in a very very interesting spot. Nate Diaz, for example.
Yeah.
He suddenly, he from being somewhere around in the top 20, suddenly now he's the $1 million fighter that got pushed into the opportunity because he had two or three good fights, and then fought that amazing two fights with McGregor. On the
Yeah.
other hand, two, three shitty fights, and nobody gives a shit about you anymore because you're gone. So I feel the UFC, it doesn't really allow you to banter around. You should always be on your best. And as I am, I'm a very, 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 very self-critical person. So it doesn't really need much to put pressure that I put pressure on me. So it will be basically the same for me every time. I always want to win. At the same time, we need to know it's in Germany. It's in front of my home crowd, but also in front of my home haters.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be the place, the Barclaycard Arena is gonna be divided, and I want to give the joy to the ones, and I want to give the pain to the others. The frustration. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. I think I agree with you because one day they love a certain fighter and the next week they forget about him or they hate him because of something he said or a fight he lost. In the MMA game changes very quickly and
Yes.
it's pretty weird if you ask me. It's in other sports you don't see that as fast as in MMA. So I agree with you on that one. The Hamburg card had some recent changes. The main event lost Volkan Oezdemir due to travel issues. We just heard yesterday or the day before that he resolved the issues, but it's too late to fight in Hamburg. And some days later, the event lost Ilir Latifi, who was fighting in the co-main event against Glover Teixeira.
Yes.
What do you think of the Hamburg card as of now?
I think it's a card that basically put much more effort on the local fighters. We got like four fighters who are like fighting out of Germany. We got one kid that is even from Hamburg. I think that's one of the columns the UFC put the weight on this time, and also I don't really feel like we lost a lot of level because I think the replacement for Özdemir is Anthony Smith,
Yeah,
and I really think that guy is gonna be a future contender.
yeah.
But nobody knows yet.
No,
So
that,
everybody's like, "Oh, what a damn!" Like, to be honest, I feel like it's like we have this saying. I don't know how it's in Dutch, but in German we have the Überraschungsei, like
yeah,
the surprise egg.
yeah.
Um, so it can be both. It can be one of the best and amazing, feel good cards with amazing fights. Can also be a bummer, and everybody is like, oh man, that was not. It can be the whole spectrum of good or bad. I'm basically without expectations, but I'm open for the opportunity that will surprise everybody.
Yeah, it's awesome to go in as a fan without expectations, and I think it will be a great night. And again, I have to agree because, for example, in Rotterdam last year, we got to see Zabit Magomed Sharipov, and he is one of the best featherweights around, and I think he's going to fight for the title very soon. And back then, nobody knew who he was, and now he's this awesome fighter.
Yeah.
So I agree. We're gonna wrap the interview up, but before we end it, we had fans send in some questions, just like the last time. We
Yes.
selected the question, and this question comes from Nico. Nico wants to know, will the Sergeant stay undefeated in Germany?
Yes. Nico is a very, very smart kid. He's very smart because he found the solution like for my title challenge. I will just have to make every fight now in Germany because it's true.
Exactly.
On German ground I simply cannot lose. So that is my aim for also for as many fights as possible because
Yeah.
obviously that works. I don't need to talk around that topic. It's just if the fans are there, if people recognize you, if they also like if you have that mixture of emotions and everybody is happy to see you or not happy and hates you but still sends out energy. This kind of is fuel in my engine, so it always put a lot of energy and drive into me, and I feel that really helped me in the past.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Our loyal fans know it by heart already, but please tell us where they can find you on social media.
I'm always on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You will find me with Nick Hein MMA in one word. I spell it Nick, then Hein, and then MMA. You will find me on all three spots. And I also have a YouTube channel, and it's kind of a mixed channel. Like I cover different topics, but MMA of course too. So yeah, subscribe and follow me and comment, but only if you do nice comments. If you hate me, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna crush you.
The sergeant is gonna hunt you down, so please be nice to him. Thank you so much again for taking the time to talk to the MMA DNA fan base. Good luck on your upcoming fight, and like always, viele Grüße und Dankeschön.
Thank you very much. Dankjewel. Bye bye.